All right, good morning. Hope you're all having a great start to your day. Today's Friday, 2nd of July, 2021. We're going to go ahead and touch up on the overall market, go over some economic data, and get right into our favorite main watch list. Now, if you guys saw into this morning, we were actually waiting on private payrolls for June. They actually came 662K versus 600K. The prior was 492,000. And again, we've been watching USA unemployment rate for June, actually up 5.9%. Expectations was 5.7. If you're watching the 9-form payrolls as well, 850K, estimates were 700K. So we're looking real good in terms of the numbers. Everything is looking real nice. Now, also can't forget about the numbers and not touch up on Tesla. If you guys seen the Q2 delivery report, I sent it to you in the room. 201,250. Expectations were 204,000. All right, 160. So again, just seeing where estimates had their number, we're about 3K away now. Let's touch up a little bit on the levels that matter into this morning. If you've been watching forward/ES, we actually did see a rally into the contract highs, and we did see it take out that 43.18 into this morning. We're actually rallying at 43.24.75, and the market's really looking real nice right now. Take your time on the market if you're looking for some more continuation. I'll be watching that 42.98 level. I'd love to see a bounce at that range. If we ever have a pullback after the reports that open, we might come back to retest that support again, 42.98. You can look at 4,300 as the whole number, but a bounce is critical at that range. All right, so take your time on the market. If it does pull back, we understand we're making a new all-time high on the S&P 500. So really critical after an exhaustion move to come back and retest those supports. All right, so if you're watching again, primary supports are going to be 42.98. If we break that, we start coming back to 42.85 and potentially revisit our favorite level at 42.69, which was a very important key level throughout this week. All right, so I hope you guys have these levels lined out. And again, our primary support will be watching at 42.98. Overhead resistance, we'll be watching that 43.24 and potentially 43.35 if we can rally and get there. Right now, hope you guys are starting the day right. Now, let's get a little bit more in depth, talk about our main watch list. Again, we've been seeing a few things that are actually presenting themselves, and we're always speaking about those high probability setups. So I want to start off with some NVIDIA, right? Let's talk about some NVIDIA right now. If you guys are watching NVIDIA, again, this is at all-time high, made a massive move, been watching the flow actually continuous bullish flow, order flow on NVIDIA. Every time they've been approaching that 810 level as a supporter, 809, it's been bought back up. So let me send you the levels I'll be watching into this morning. And again, take your time on the video. Understand that this already made an all-time high. It's already playing around that all-time high. So it could be a high-risk trade for the new traders. Again, we understand when you're trading something around the 52-week high, it's more high risk. So take your time on this if it does set up. But if you guys are watching this setup, there's a 10-point gain the moment we take out that all-time high. And again, this is why NVIDIA is added on watch today. I'm definitely going to consider entry at support. I don't like to go in long the open, especially seeing that we had an exhaustion move at the open. If you guys could see, especially that 813, it made almost a 7-point move already to 820, but it's really critical to hold 818.25. Again, I know NVIDIA can trade some momentum. I know NVIDIA can close 818 and potentially rally a little more. So look for partial entry. You don't need to size the whole trade in. You can have partial entry upon coming close to that 820.5. And then once it can close over that 818, which is the pre-market, well, yesterday's high at 818.25. Once it could close over that level, that's confirmation continuation on the 5-minute. I'm looking for a 10-point gain. Again, you don't need to be greedy for the whole move. You can take 5-point scalp, take some size off, and then re-enter again upon retests of support. But again, just understand this is at all-time high. And we've been seeing a lot of upgrades come out for NVIDIA in the past week. So again, just keep a look at this. This is why we're adding NVIDIA first thing on watch this morning. Now, let's talk about, you can't talk about high probability setups and not speak about what's going on with BABA, right? So if you're watching BABA, let me send you guys the levels and you'll kind of notice that slight gap fill for a 2-point gain, right? So let's get there and talk about it. If you're watching that 220, that's actually resistance into this morning. If you can see, there's a 2-point drop from the POC price of close yesterday. So the 222s was really a level of support. And let me also send you some dark pool prints so you can kind of see what I'm seeing on this. And again, if you're going to note BABA, let me send you guys first the dark pool print and you guys can see what I'm seeing here. Again, notice the 99.84 million in notional value. This was printed at 4:22 p.m. yesterday. The size was 450,000 at 221.87. So that is the price that they started trading that dark pool print. And you could see on the right side that level, how much of a level that level, it can act as a supply or demand level. But you can see the notional value at 120.99 million when everything else was receiving single and double digits. Okay, and you could see as well the amount of size traded there, almost half a mil, 545,000, when everything else was having premium or size close to 20K and 50K. Okay, so this is a high probability setup that's setting up for BABA. Again, we've been seeing weakness on the Chinese names again regarding the Delta variant, the new COVID variant that's coming out, the Delta variant, the Delta 9 variant that's in China that took over India and whatnot. But again, that's all pieces of news. So really critical not to act just upon the news, but just seeing a slight gap fill for 2 points over 220. That's a trade that might present itself. I'll be watching that order flow and tape. You guys know the tape tells the story, so don't go taking longs until you get that confirmation from order flow and the tape as well in times and sales. Very critical. I'll be watching if it rejects 220. I'm not biased on BABA. You guys could see we're watching 218 as a primary support. You could see that pre-market support. And if it can't hold it, we'll take it down for 2 points. Okay, so we're not biased, and we know there's weakness in the Chinese names like BABA, JD, and Baidu. So take your time. This is why we're adding BABA on Friday. Can potentially catch a really nice trade on this. All right. Now let's talk about some SPCE. All right. This is a great trade. Setup, as you guys can see, again, there's a race between Richard Branson, Elon Musk, and Jeff Bezos. They're all trying to make it out. Jeff Bezos, everybody's trying to make it out to space. Now, the piece of news was for July 11. They're actually going to try to fly Richard Branson out. Let me send you the levels that matter into this morning. So if you're watching this, this already had an exhaustion move. It was up about 27% yesterday after the piece of news was released. Now, very critical to note on SPCE that pre-market high at 57.86 and if at 57.85 or 86, and if you go on that daily time frame, you'll start noticing that that's actually a prior rejection on SPCE, and that's a level that it actually rejected before. So take your time on this. You can see the high it made at 62.8. There was a long wick on the 4th of February, but you could see that there was no body that closed over that 57.86. All right, so it's really critical to understand we never really had it close to that 52-week high at 62.80, but that's why I'll be trading all the way to that 62. So if you're watching right now, ideal entry on SPCs at support. It's already hugging that support at 52.50, setting up for a nice move. If it can close at the open over that 52.50, I'm taking this long. All right. And as you guys can see, the upside is huge back to 57.85 and then 59.50 and 62. But as you can see, this is a distribution range after a massive move, right? So take your time on SPCE. Don't jump the gun. And it's really critical to note implied volatility. IV is super high on this big guy, almost 137%. All right. On these contracts, you'll see them at almost 100% IV implied volatility. So understand that this is automatically a high risk trade the moment you're entering it just because of the IV and the exhaustion move in the pre-market. Now, not saying we can't make money on this. Absolutely, we can. I love the setup at the pre-market support, 52.50. And you guys can see it's actually consolidating a little bit here, pushing about a point over that range. So take your time on SPCE for that mega rally if it confirms. And if it can hold that 52.50, you guys know we're not biased. We had the same setup yesterday at open and it couldn't hold support, and we took it for a flush to the downside. All right, so take your time on watching SPCE, and again, just seeing the numbers rolled out and seeing where SPY is can have a nice reversal to the upside and push more potentially for that $60 club. Take your time on it. Right now, if you've noted, Andrew pointed out SQ, great trade yesterday, powered by order flow. Again, fantastic trade. We actually took some profits into the close yesterday. For the people swinging the touch up, you can see Andrew mentioned SQ at 244 right now. Again, watch for that 246.50. We saw it yesterday at the close. We saw that long wick as well, 246.50. Primary support is 242, okay? So as long as it's closing over 242 on SQ, I would look for a bounce trade at that 242. And then I would look for resistance over that 244.50. Again, upside is huge to 246.50 and potentially to 250. That's another 4-point range the moment you take out that 246. All right, so SQ looking nice. I'm not going to send the levels because this is actually something that is not going to be main watch just at the open, because I do have Tesla. I was between SQ and Tesla, and just seeing those numbers on Tesla and the dark pool print. Let me send you guys what I'm seeing here on Tesla as well. We haven't been adding Tesla for this whole week. Again, didn't want to start trading Tesla and getting that premium bird, especially when there's no clear direction on Q2 deliveries. Really, really critical. Again, was waiting to get those delivery numbers out and see what's going on with Tesla. And we actually did get them. So that's something I want to note. And also, you can't forget about the $328 million notional value that's coming on Tesla at the close yesterday. If you're watching that close at July 1st, you guys could see the prints. They came in yesterday. Again, huge notional value, about totaling about 328 million in terms of dollar value. And you guys could see those levels very, very critical. I'll be using them into this morning. But you could see where the 677 actually received a lot of notional value. There's about 364,000 in terms of size traded at that range. You can use this level as a level of supply or demand, understanding the dark pool print came here. And you can see right now in the pre-market session, we're actually using 678 as a resistance level. So ideal entry is the break and hold over that 678 for some more upside. And you guys can see we have about 7 points and another 5 to 690. So again, Tesla seeing the Q2 numbers. Again, they didn't fail the expectations. It's actually right there. Again, you guys can see the expectations were 204,000. We actually landed at 201. So about 3K difference. Really good numbers here on Tesla. Now, take your time on the broad market. Again, remember triple R, risk reward ratios upon all trades. Don't go taking a setup that's not a high probability setup, especially on choppy Fridays. Now, I want to touch up on Monday as well. Can't talk about Fridays and not talk about how Monday is going to be off for Independence Day. Just make sure that you're positioned correctly over the next few days or weeks. We know long weekends are usually notorious for catching people off guard in this market. We usually see a lot of fakes and a lot of confusion, all right? So take your time if you're trading again today. And again, understand that trading conditions might get a little difficult, as we approach next week. It's a short week. And understand that these short weeks tend to have a massive move because there's low volume. So again, they might have a big move with low volume. So again, watch for those moments and capitalize on them when they present themselves. And hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you guys need me, DM me, and let's get some money, team, all right? In and out, guys. Let's make it happen.